following is a presentation of TFNN.
This story began on a nice Florida winter day, December 10th, 2005, when lone fishermen in Mosquito Lagoon, out near Cape Canaveral, discovered a crab trap that appeared to have something caught inside of it. As the fisherman looked closer, he noticed that a baby dolphin was tangled in a rope that had cut off the supply of blood to the dolphin's tail. The fisherman cut the rope and called for help because he saw this dolphin was struggling. The dolphin, later named Winter, was brought to the Clearwater Marine Aquarium, but too much damage was done to her tail, and it could not be saved. Now, folks, the greatest gift you can give anyone is the gift of your attention. And that is exactly what Winter received from a group of prosthetic engineers who created an innovative new design for a prosthetic tail. Winter, she's doing just fine, and her story of survival and success has gone on to touch others, many, many others. These are folks that need a more flexible prosthetic. We can't control the circumstances of life, folks, only how we respond to them. Circumstances are like the wind. Learn to set a good sail, folks, and let the wind take you to your dreams, your treasures, and your destination. Welcome to TFNN. We're glad you're here and you have our attention.
It is now time for The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the March 8th fantastic Friday, Jobs Friday edition of today's Opening Bell on The Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and thanks so much for joining me, folks. I absolutely treasure your presence here today, and my outcome, as always, is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with the tools that each of us need in order to lead an inspired life. Because leading an inspired life, folks, that is really what it's all about. So let's go look at one of our tools. This is the tool I call ending procrastination. You know, folks, perseverance is about as important as gasoline is to driving the car. And sure, there'll be times when you feel like you're spinning your wheels, but you'll always get out of the rut with genuine perseverance. Without it, you won't even be able to start that engine of yours. Now, the opposite of perseverance, procrastination. Perseverance means you never quit. Procrastination, well, that usually means you never get started. Certainly, you never finish the things that you start out there. Do you know what the main reason the main reason why people procrastinate? It starts with the letter P as well, and it's the lowest standard that one could ever set for themselves. It's called perfection. You see, the folks that procrastinate usually everything just has to be just right. Everything's got to be just right before a procrastinator can start their task. Don't strive for perfection, folks. Strive to just simply be outstanding and extraordinary. Those are the standards worth achieving. Change your standards, folks, and change your life. Let's go take a look at the life in the markets here. We've got the futures popping after the jobs report numbers being released at 8:30. We had payrolls up 236,000, jobless rate down to 7.7%. Hasn't been that low since December of 2008. Interestingly enough, back at the same time when gold made a bottom out there. Gold not bottoming here just yet. Down right now, $11, trading out at $15.64. Silver's off 32 cents. That's off about a little over 1%, down at $28.47. Light sweet crude down 47 cents, out at $91.09. What's all that about? Well, that's about the jump in King Dollar. You want to talk about a market, and you want to talk about taking a look at different stock charts out here. Right now, King Dollar on a tear, up at about 82.78. My data feed's even just a few minutes a little delayed here, about 10 minutes delayed on the U.S. dollar index. That baby is on fire. It's not delayed on the currency market, on the basket of currencies out there that make up that U.S. dollar index. Those also, you're talking about wide price spreads, whether it's in the euro, that's off 1%, whether it's in the yen, that's up about 1 4/10%. Even the pound here, down about 0.7% right now. Our call number is 877-927-6648. Would love to hear from you. Let's go start off with the futures market. Let's just first take a look at the 30-minute chart here. Here's the June contract for the ES Mini. We can see really some big volume coming into it during that 30-minute session. Of course, if I just drop down to the 10-minute session, maybe I'll do that here in the 10-minute session. You can see, really some volume coming in here. Those highs are going to be tested for sure. or should be tested. The high so far, 1547.75 out there. Let's come in and we'll take a look. Now, what I've got here, if you're just listening on the radio or your mobile device at tfnn.mobi, thanks so much for doing that. Remember, you can always catch the live stream of this show by going to the homepage of tfnn.com. Over on the right-hand side, you will see a set of buttons with 3 smartphones. Click on that. You'll be able to get the live stream of this show to you. And remember, you can always catch the archive of this on Channel 9 on TigerTV. What I've got up on my screen here is a number of looks like mostly 10-minute charts out here. So we got the pound, we've got gold, we've got light sweet crude. Of course, I got the daily chart on light sweet crude up here. Silver, the euro, U.S. dollar. So we can see all the spikes here, all the simultaneous spikes here in the marketplace. We got bonds spiking down, bonds testing again their most recent lows out here. Maybe today bonds will make a triple bottom. Or maybe bonds are going to just simply bust through the lows and head for lower prices. But if we take a look at let's go over to the daily chart here for the futures contract. We'll go take a look at, as soon as I can find it on my screen here. It should be, there we go. Let's go take a look at the daily chart, the ES Mini. Now, as we take a look at the ES, it's got a completed 1.618 expansion, and the number is 1547. 1547. So far, the ES Mini is at 1547.75. So we've got the ES Mini completing its 1 to 1.618. Well, I say it's not we'll find out what the A to B equals CD is in a minute. Let me actually get rid of these rising priced channels here because they don't really make a hill of beans out there. So we're taking a look at the expansion. Now, that's the expansion, folks, off of the September 14th swing point. We know that 1.272 butterfly expansion, that failed. When that fails, you go up to the next level. So now we've got a completed pattern today out at the 1547 level. We'll see if that level holds. That is a reversal area. Would you take a trade here, a short trade here? No, you wouldn't. Certainly not on the daily chart, you wouldn't. And why? Because you'd want to wait for a reversal signal. You'd want to be one of those. If you've ever watched car racing out here, and really you kind of, what's always nice is linking the known to the unknown. And so you may not be in the car race. You may not, whether it's Indy or whether it's the stock car racing, you may not be into it. But go ahead and watch it because there's a lot to be learned from different things that go on around us. And if you take a look, if you ask most drivers and you ask them coming into that last lap or last couple laps, or really especially as they're trying to make sure that they maximize their gas mileage, where would you rather be, in front or in second place? They'd rather be in second place drafting that guy who is in front and then catapulting beyond them. Well, I say that's the same thing that you do in the marketplace. If you're looking to go long and the market's moving down, you wait for the bulls to show up and then just simply tuck right in behind them. Tuck right in. If they can hold their position, you stay in that position. The market closes below that area. Well, it's like having a wreck. You got a little bit too close. That's all. But that's easy in this game here because those wrecks, well, all they cost you is 1% or less of your trading capital if you're using the right reward to risk. Same thing here in a short trade. On a daily chart, depends on what the time frame is that you trade on. You would wait. You've got a completed pattern here. You would just simply wait for the bears to show up. They could show up today. You could get a reversal candle today. You absolutely could. But why put anything at risk? Why not just be that second place, that smart driver that just simply is going to maximize their fuel? Right? That's your cash. That's your hard-earned money at work there. And then just simply, what do they call that when you get right behind them? I'll think about it. I don't know why I had that little brain contusion there. Anyways, on the daily chart on the ES Mini, we can't see it also has completed a pattern. Now, from an intraday standpoint, I'm waiting for a trade to set up. We'll see if that happens. Hasn't happened yet. Won't happen probably now until about 10 a.m. Couldn't happen for me because it's on a 30-minute chart out there. And so that is on the ES Mini. Let's go take a look at the Dow futures. We'll take a look at the daily out here. Then we'll go take a look at the currencies and so forth. Actually, I got the monthly chart out here. This is the monthly chart for the Dow futures. That, folks, has a 1.618 expansion pattern. That would complete at 14,440, 14,437. Right now you're at 14,337, only 100 points away from completing that out there. Again, longer-term chart, monthly chart out there. Not saying that it's going to do that today out here. If we go back and take a look at a daily chart out here, Daily chart, clearly we're taking out yesterday's highs, but boy, folks, doing it with less relative strength on the way up. That never leads to good things out there in the marketplace. Let's go take a look at the NASDAQ futures here. NASDAQ futures had formed that 0.786 Gartley sell pattern. That Gartley sell pattern now really today in jeopardy of failing. And when a Gartley sell pattern fails, especially a 786 Gartley sell pattern, folks, and probably the NASDAQ is where we're going to have to be really keeping our eyes out. If the NASDAQ Gartley pattern fails, not only will it make a 100% move of a move, in that case there it takes you back into the September 21st level, but oftentimes, and I mean significantly oftentimes, what will happen is after that test of that 100% move of a move, that test of the September 21st swing point, what that will do is that will turn into a butterfly pattern. That would be a failed 0.786. Are we there yet today? No, but getting mighty close to that pattern. Let's go take a look at the Russell 2000. Let's go see on the daily chart what the Russell here is doing. Up and over its highs, up and over where the Bears last took their foothold. That was on February 20th out there. That level was 933.20, trading out at 937 right now. So you can clearly see, and that was really a level of resistance here. We can see that just simply with the last two trading sessions. So up and over it. Now, it requires a close today to be up and over it, because the last two trading sessions did not get above the 933.20 level. In fact, yesterday, the high in the Russell 2000, 930.80, and the day before, session before, 931.30. Today, you get a close above 933.20 on the futures contract here. What you'd be looking at is a break of an old resistance area, and as you know, old resistance becomes new support out there. That is on the futures market. Let's go back and take a look at this tab here that I've got labeled job response. Boy, if we take a look at, actually, let's go over to the U.S. dollar index again. Just a tad bit delayed on my system here, and then we'll go back to the currency charts. But take a look at that move inside the U.S. dollar index. You're talking conviction. Take a look at the contracts, 2,900 contracts at that 830 to 840 session. Volume picking up here. Price moving higher. You know, that is what is impacting the commodities, but only impacting them slightly out here. Something to think about. At least I think it's something to think about. Let's go back in and peek in on the currencies, because that's really what is driving the U.S. dollar index. Let's go take a look at the. Where is she? The euro. So let's take a look at the euro U.S. dollar. Take a look at this thing moving into. This would be, what a great day. You know, this is Friday, folks. This is Nadex Bull Bear Binary Option Hour. What a great day, Jobs Friday, to be able to set up some trades. So make sure you're staying tuned at 10 o'clock. Our leader, Tom O'Brien, will be leading that show off. But take a look at that move here in the euro U.S. dollar. Let's go ahead and put this on a daily chart out here. The daily chart busting through that area of support out here. We get a close today below 1.29654. Folks, the euro probably will go down and visit the lows of November 13th out there. That ought to put some pressure on the commodity market. How about the U.S. stock market? 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportions of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what an asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Wealth Management financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, LLC. Member SIPC.
with the launch of TigerTV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces, and over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow futures up 81 points. And the cash market should open up about 100 points here. S&P's up 7 right now. And, considering the move in the U.S. dollar index here, the commodities are really holding up pretty well. Now, somebody might say, hey, Steve, silver's down 1% right now, off 32 cents right now. You've got gold off 65 cents. Light sweet crude specifically, right now only down 19 pennies here. Now, you want to talk about the importance of understanding bullish and bearish signs out here. I would say that the light sweet crude is one of those spots where you really, well, I'd say it's everywhere across the market. We're just simply going to peek in on light sweet crude here. You can see now what light sweet crude did was made a perfect retracement here. Just depends on what contract you're taking a look at and which swing points you're using. If we come and take a look at the swing point low from November 7th all the way up to the highs here, what we're going to see is light sweet crude made a 0.786 retracement. Makes a 0.786 retracement. We know that that's a normal stop on any elevator system that you're riding inside between swing points in the marketplace out there. And then you got some bulls that actually showed up here. Now, I think it's just a little bit of a counter trend rally out here, but interesting today, right now, with King Dollar being up the way that it is, light sweet crude is holding in here. So do I think the rally in light sweet crude is over with? Boy, now when I go ahead and I try to compare and know that light sweet crude is priced in dollars, either that or the market's going to fall apart in the crude oil complex here in the very near few minutes, hours, or what have you. But right now, holding up pretty well. The bulls here, over the last 4 trading sessions, we've got a bull sash candle. That was coming in right after the lows on March the 5th. And yesterday, bullish engulfing candle out there as well. So we can see here the bulls really putting up a fight. Now, what's the beauty about that? What's the beauty about that information there that I just gave to you about light sweet crude? We know where the bulls are hanging out. And if they can't defend this territory, folks, if they cannot defend this territory, sounds to me like you would be breaking through what should have been a pretty good, strong area of support. In fact, it would be a nice continuation play in light sweet crude. That says that light sweet crude, not only would it get back into the 85 level, probably would go ahead and, if we take a look at just the A to B equals CD pattern off of the highs here from September 14th down to the lows, let's take a look at where that 1-to-1 takes us, 83.54. I suspect that's the minimum that we would see if this area being the lows here from, let's see, this would be Tuesday, I believe, March the 4th. And that low is about 89.33. So 83.54, if that area cannot be defended, but most likely you'd be going back to that $77 to $79 area. But right now today, with the market the way that it is, with the U.S. dollar index, has to make you say, something to think about. Even true in the gold marketplace here, because gold has not broken through those bottoms. Let me just go take a look at the, see if I can put the daily up here on the screen. Where is it for me? Come on, baby. Oh, by the way, I was talking earlier about race car driving and what you're supposed to be doing. Basil called it slipstreaming. I call it drafting out there. And that's why you want to understand these candle patterns, folks, because it is just so much easier to go ahead and draft. And because you don't need to buy the bottom tick, nor do you need to sell the top tick out there. You know, go ahead and stack the cards in your favor. You know, what may be happening today is just simply a test in gold of the lows at the 15.54 level. But if it was going to break it, boy, it has had every opportunity right now, especially with the king being in the house and being up the way that it is, and gold has not done that. And why is that, folks? Why is that? Stevie's son here, he knows why. And the reason is because all the large commercials, those are the large money traders, they have taken their smallest net short position since 2008, folks, since the 2008 lows, since the 2011 lows out there. The big money is saying, I don't want to go down any further out there. At least that's who's in there right now pushing this up. So we'll see if gold can push through these lows here. Should have had no problem with that bounce that we saw in the U.S. dollar index. Might want to make you say, something to think about. If we go over to the silver market, at least it sure makes me say that. Plus, I like saying that anyways. We can take a look at that 0.786 Gartley buy pattern in the silver complex here. You got silver, that 0.786 coming in on February 20th, that low being 28.25 out there. That area was tested as far as contract volume at 75,000 contracts. It was tested here back on March the 1st with 47,000 contracts. You know, we'll see if that area gets tested. So far, interest session, the lows of $28.33 out there. Silver not being able to bust through that area would also make me say, something to think about. Let's see what else there is to think about here. What else is popping and dropping in the marketplace? Foot Locker to the downside. Let's see. Skull Candy, SKUL, that's trading off. Tempur-Pedic had a good night's sleep. They're the leader in the clubhouse. Pandora as well to the upside. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Just recently, on December 28th, Market Insight subscribers were advised to go long the QQQ, the NASDAQ 100 ETF, on December 28th at $63.91. And only 2 trading days later, after a huge jump in the markets, Market Insight subscribers were advised to sell the QQQ at $66.64 for a $2.73 or 4.27% profit to start off 2013. At the same time, Tom O'Brien had advised his clients looking for a more leveraged trade that they could have initiated a position in the QLD, the ProShares Ultra QQQ ETF, and over the same 2 trading days, Market Insight subscribers were able to lock in a $4.48 profit or an 8.47% gain in just 1 trade. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during your free trial and pay nothing. Don't miss out on the next great trading opportunity in 2013. Act today. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now. Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're off to the races. We got the Dow up 75 points, trading out at 14,404. The S&P's up about 7 points out at 1551. NASDAQ traded out at 3245. That's up 0.4%, up about 14 points right now. Russell 2000 up 0.7%. The leader in the clubhouse here, up about $7 out at 941. New York Stock Exchange up 0.4% up there. Let's see. How about the transports? The transports were down yesterday. Back up. They're up over 1% here, up $62. Across the pond over in Europe, you've got the FTSE up $48. You've got the DAX. It has been on fire, up another 67 points right now, trading out at 8,006. Last night, you want to talk about off to the races, and we're just kind of keeping things. I was talking about races, I was talking about gold and silver, and since those are traded in the pits, it's really right now gold and silver are just in the pits, maybe getting their tires changed. We're going to see here with the U.S. dollar index being as strong as they are, if they're just refueling, trying to take out the lows, or they've got to truly make you say, out of the race today. Now, as we take a look over in Asia, we'll take a look over at the Nikkei. Nikkei up 315 points. You want to talk about a baby being on fire, up 2.6%. Over at the Hang Seng, they had a nice evening as well, up 1 4/10%, up 320 points. The Shanghai slightly lower, off about 6 points. Not really any movement out there. Popping here in our markets at the open, Tempur-Pedic up about 8%. That's up a little over $3 right now. Let's see if they are out with earnings, or let's see what they have going on. They got some clearance for the acquisition of Sealy. Okay, so that's what's going on with Tempur-Pedic. Pandora Media up 24%. They were out with earnings, I believe, last night, and they did revenues here. $125 million versus $81 million out there. So they are getting a nice reward, and it's working out pretty well with them, with the CEO announcing that he is going to go ahead and step down. Oftentimes that can have a negative impact, so seems like all of this was timed very well. Pandora, the ticker symbol is P. We can check in on that in a little bit. Ann Inc. We'll go take a look at Ann Inc. as well. I believe that's Ann Taylor, up about 7.5%. Here this morning. Whirlpool up a couple of bucks. To the downside, Foot Locker off $2.30, down about 7%. Goldman Sachs off about just a little over 1% off, $1.79. Medifast is down $1.53. AVG Technologies off about $1.66. Skull Candy, I don't know what they do, but they're down 17%. Let me see what Skull Candy here. Let's see what they actually do. Or what they're first I want to see what it is that they do. Skull Candy. Obviously, they develop and distribute headphones and other audio accessories to retailers in the United States. Geez, I would have thought they were in the candy business out there. Skull Candy, personal electronics. They were out with numbers here. They did net sales of $297 million versus $232. Not too bad there. They did earnings per share 92 cents versus 79 cents out there. Net income $11 million versus 12.3. Had a little bit of a cost problem out there, and they are not being rewarded this morning. So let's go take a look here. Let's go over across the pond, and let's take a look at, let's take a look at the big pond, the Pacific pond out there, at least for us on the West Coast. That is the larger pond that we'd have to get to. So let's go take a look at the Nikkei. We'll stop in and first take a look at the weekly chart out here. The weekly chart, closing at its session highs for the week, and it looks like the Nikkei wants to move, no matter how bought this thing is. Looks like this thing wants to head to 13,981. It's at 12,283 right now. This little baby is on fire. When there is a pullback, and there will be a pullback on this, that's when you'd really like to step in on this equity, because, boy, on the daily, on the weekly, on the monthly, it's hard to see this thing getting as overbought as it is. You'd have to go back. Well, the last time was really back in the 2006 time frame before it was this type of overbought. Was there finally a retracement? There was. Took place in June of 2006, and I don't, this is like, well, I guess you got the drafting, right? We were talking about drafting before. You would just have to draft this and really use some kind of tight stop on it. But the Japanese marketplace, the Nikkei, truly on fire out here, and any pullbacks have been so minor. I mean, so minor, just simply some sideways travel for a period of a few days out there, but just really minor travel. Let's go. Let's take a look at the European market. Let's go look at the DAX, see what that is doing. Haven't looked in on the DAX for a while. It's up and over its resistance for sure. Let's put this on a longer term chart here. Let's go look at a weekly on the DAX and see what this is doing. Well, the DAX, not wanting to be left out, wants to get back and test its 2007 highs. This is the weekly chart. Looks like the high actually came in July 13th, 2007. The price point up there is 81.51, trading inside that swing point right now. Yeah, I don't have the volume. Tom's got the volume on the DAX, but looks like it wants to go ahead and tackle that number, 81.51. However, 81.39 as well would be the A to B equals CD pattern, and that would be off of the lows. Again, this is the weekly chart, so this would be off of the September lows of 2011. That would be your A point. Your B point is in the March 16th area of 2012. That's your B. Your C point down here was that June 4th low, the week of June 8th out there, and maybe it was June 5th for the DAX out there. In our market, it was June the 4th. And the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD, 81.39. that is clearly where the DAX is going. Let's go check in on the FTSE here, see where the FTSE is headed to. That's also been a little bit of a rocket ship. Now, it's trading right at around the 1.618 butterfly salt pattern. Now, this is a beauty. This is one that you'd want to have in the textbooks for sure, whether it works or fails. And that's the beautiful thing about these patterns here, because they give you so much information, and they really help you to identify where the next legs are. So we can see the FTSE here, even though it is up this morning, trading out at 64.79. The 64.54 level is a 1.618 expansion off of the March 14th swing point high all the way down to the low of June the 1st out there. You've got this 2.618 expansion as well of swing points. That's the September swing point highs down to the lows here in November. So right now the FTSE if it breaks through this, where will it travel to next? Well, let's go put this on a larger term time frame out here. Let's put this on a weekly chart. Let me get rid of those volume bars at the bottom. Those are absolutely not correct out here. And what the FTSE would want to do as well is go test its 2007 highs. I don't know that it's actually inside the swing point. It is not. The swing point that it needs to get into, the low of the bar, is 65.74. Trading right now at 64.80 out there. Let's go take a look at some of these stocks here that are popping and dropping in the marketplace. I just like the name Skull Candy, so let's go take a look at Skull Candy. Put up the those little tab here. SKUL is the ticker symbol. Of course, it's getting its skull knocked in this morning, being down a total of 17%, gapping down and doing it with volume. So let's go take a look at the stock chart and see what they are up to, see if there's any volume bars out here. Oh, my goodness. This looks like the Facebook IPO. Looks like this was an IPO. How about this? Comes out on July 20th, folks. Opens at $19.99. It saw a high of $23.40. I don't think I've got the intraday chart that would take me back that far. Probably wasn't up at that intraday high for too long. Sold off most of the trading session. Closed at $19.99. And this thing has been on a downward ride ever since July 20th, 2011. There is nary a soul in this thing at any kind of a profit. So where is it going? No idea, other than it's not, man, oh, man. What a terrible-looking stock chart. It would be, if you reversed it, it would look pretty good. It would be a nice bullish stock chart. But this thing here, ugly, very ugly. Let's go take a look at, you got Apple is popping, so let's go see what Apple is doing. Trading out right now at the 433. Well, we know where Apple's headed to, right? It's going to go test that 435 level. So let's go take a look at Apple. We'll put this on now. What Apple is going to be contending with here, folks, is this downdraft candle that came in at 940. Volume, that was on the trading session of March the 1st out there. You had volume of 4.8 million shares, and the high of that's trading into that bar right now. The high of that bar happens to be 438.18. As we know, Apple has not been able to really penetrate much above the 435 area. We'll see if it gets a chance to do that. Even if it does and it gets up to 438.18, don't jump on this trade just yet. Let it prove yourself to you. The 10-minute bar here getting into that overbought territory. Let's put this on a daily chart on Apple. Let's take a look at the volume. Yesterday, the volume as it backed off, 16 million shares. No big volume there so far today. Total volume in trading here, 2.4 million shares. Remember, that is going into this resistance area of January 25th, which has 43 million shares to the downside. Let's take a look at some of these other stocks here. How about Pandora? Let's go see if we can find Pandora. Now, I've got to trick my system to do this here, so I'm going to do this. Be patient with me while I grab this, add a symbol, make it the letter P, because you'll see when it punches up on my screen here, what it will do is it'll all be in black, and we don't want that because I can't see anything here. There we go. So now we got Pandora Media up here. Let me just refresh the screen. We'll go ahead and get the actual historical data. So gapping up nicely, although selling off just a bit out here. So Pandora Media, let's go see what this is moving into. The last time it made a swing point out here was in March 5th, 2012. Got up to a high of 1525. The volume up there is 9 million shares. It's had a downdraft here, so it's really testing this area this morning. So this is the first test of the what we'll call resistance level 1 out here. So it's testing. It's up above it right now as we speak. And that level is this downdraft day that took place on March 7, 2012. 22 million shares to the downside. Where it broke from was the March 6 level, which was a low of 1405. That was your first area of resistance. We'll see where this closes today. Your next level is the swing point just above it from March the 5th out there, which is 15 1/4. The real benchmark for volume, if this is truly breaking out, though, is going to be that 22 million share day. Volume-wise, looks pretty good here this morning. In 15 minutes of trading, 7 million shares. So it should be able to do the 22 million. The question is, where is this going to go ahead and finish the trading session? Now let's go back in and take a look at the ES Mini. Specifically, I want to take a look at the 30-minute chart out here. Of course, this is oil. You can see oil basically unchanged today, so no matter what happened with that pop in the king, oil is saying, it might be done going lower here for a while. So on the ES Mini, come on, where are you? Right here on my screen. Oh, how about that? There we go. So we are getting the reversal signal that I was looking for big time. You got to love it, folks. Got to love it. Let's see. I've got 14 minutes before I can actually go in or should go in and jump in on my short trade out here. And it's a system, folks, that I developed, and it's a system where you just simply follow the rules. Follow the rules. That's a beautiful thing. Be disciplined out here. Let the market do its thing, and then just go ahead and take advantage of it when that thing is done. Right now, we're seeing a little bit of a reversal inside the market. And the area of support, if the ES Mini sells off, is going to be 1539. That's the area that you're going to be wanting to pay attention to. If the ES Mini closes below 1539 today, not a good scene moving into Monday's session, especially with the jobs report out there. Of course, 70+% of the time, Jobs Fridays turn out to be down days. You probably didn't know that, did you? And I believe it's the last 9 Fridays. Somebody have to go back. Daryl probably knows that. Probably the last 9 Fridays have been up days in the marketplace. So being at highs and it not potentially being a up day, that would make you say, something to think about. At least I think that it would. Let's go continue and take a look at the marketplace, because I'm just babbling on this morning here, but giving all kinds of good babble out there. Let's go take a look at, let's see here. We've got, I said we would take a look at Ann Taylor, I believe. That reason I wanted to look at that is somebody had called about that, or maybe had sent me an email, and we took a look at Ann Taylor, and it was coming back into an area of support. It was coming into its breakout area, so I haven't really looked at it since then. And actually considered this as a possible trade as well. And it's a beauty, folks, if you take a look at coming back into the breakout area. This thing here, don't know what was behind that move of 9.3 million shares to the upside on August 17th. Of course, you don't really need to know what was behind the move here. And what Ann did was it actually went ahead and went ahead and repaired the window, I should say, by going ahead and actually closing below the breakout session from August 16th. Is that a bad scene? No, but my preference on this trade was that window would not have been repaired, that as it was tested. Now, volume-wise, as it's testing that area, you can see coming back on much lighter volume, especially benchmarking it up against that August 17th level with 9.3 million shares. But if you want to take a look at the ultimate level, that's simply coming into the breakout session. We'll go ahead and put the line across the screen here. That was the session from August 16th that had 955,000 shares out there. Finally gave you the bullish candle. Probably should have been paying attention to this on the 28th of February. Nice bullish candle formation after just really hanging out for about 4 or 5 trading sessions at those lows, at that breakout area, and today gapping up. Now, as far as where it was gapping, I remember the reason why I didn't want to take this trade here, because as far as where this was going to first gap up into is where it's at right now, and that was this downdraft session here of February the 7th. The high there is 30.99. You can see it's trading at 30.88 right now. That's the window here that is checking this in the game of chess. 877-927-6648. Be right back.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page at TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks, and for those of you that are in the San Mateo, California area, San Jose, San Francisco, or anywhere out on the West Coast, there's going to be just a terrific workshop, dynamic trading strategies, hosted by Nadex. Tom O'Brien and Daryl Martin will be there for a great morning of education, 8:30 to 12 o'clock noon. Plus, it's going to be a fun, really fun session. And the beautiful thing is, you got prizes, folks. You got 30 different prizes going to be given away, worth over $2,500 out there. So if you're anywhere in that area, what a great way to spend a Saturday morning. That's going to be next Saturday, March the 16th. So go to the homepage at TFNN.com and sign up for it. I know on the East Coast out here, we've got all kinds of snowstorms that are going on, and I can't think of a better way to spend a nice snowy day if you're not on the ski slopes. That would be option number 2. Option number 1 would be spending it with Basil Chapman at a Master Trader course. He's hosting that. This is tomorrow Saturday, all day, out at Babson College. It's not too late for you to get in on that. So if you're wondering what to do with your snow day, your cold day up there, I'd say go feed the mind and go check out all the details on the homepage of TFNN.com and sign up for that as well. Let's quickly go back here to Ann Taylor. I think it's Ann Taylor. It's Ann somebody or other. And ticker symbol is ANN. Apologize, I'm not that great with clothing out here. But what as I was taking a look at this trade, folks. So this was, and for those of you that listen each morning, you may remember me bringing this up as far as Ann. Now, the reason that I did not take this trade, I didn't like that first risk reward on here. It's coming back into that breakout area nicely, but the first area of resistance. And I remember even saying to myself, I want to see this thing actually prove itself, because that first area of resistance is going to be this little gap down area. Now, whether it's going to hold the session, whether it's going to hold the February 7th high, which is $30.99. That's what it's trading into right now, and it's trading out at 30.78, and the volume there is 5 million shares. So far this morning, up with 830,000 shares in a half an hour of trading. So volume's not too bad, but of course we know volume is front-loaded and back-loaded out there. And the next area of resistance here is going to be that February 6th low out at 31.70. But here is an equity that did pull back into the breakout, did just as it was supposed to do. And now I'll make a decision on this thing based on the volume today. Ideally, what this would do is have some volume, close back below this first area of resistance, and then come back down here and close the gap that it created this morning, move back down into maybe the highs of about 29.70, and do that on less than 1.5 million shares. And that itself might set up a nice trade out there. As we come back and just kind of peek in here on the metals marketplace, the commodity marketplace, you've got gold now down only $2, still King Dollar having a nice move. You've got silver that is now up 6 cents out there. And you've got light sweet crude that is totally flat. And in case so this will be interesting, because this would be the bull against the bear. This would be Tom being the bear in gold and me being the bull in gold. So we got a bull and a bear in the house, and there's no better place to have a bull and a bear in the house, and that is with the Nadex platform out there, folks. So stay tuned. Tom will be up with the leading us off here in the Nadex with Daryl Martin and myself out there. Again, commodities kind of make you say, should make me say as well. We are seeing the sell-off here. It is Jobs Friday in the ES Mini. You know what that means. In about a minute and a half, Stevie's son here will be short the S&P 500 on the ES Mini using that trading strategy that I shared with so many folks out there. Stay tuned, folks, for the next show. If you're off to start your day, have a great Friday. And always remember this, folks. You have an amazing power within yourself, and that power is so strong, it'll create a life of abundance, cure incurable diseases, build billion-dollar businesses, paint magnificent masterpieces, but most of all, folks, create fantastic, loving families. Thanks so much for being a part of the TFNN family. Have a great Friday and a great weekend, folks. Take care.
Let me tell you something, folks. I have people coming up to me saying, I just can't believe the amount of work that Steve does on his newsletter. And I says, I absolutely agree.
That is a recent clip from the Money Masters show that Tom and I do each day at TFNN. My newsletter service, Mastering Probability, is much, much more than a newsletter. Yes, it's outperformed the S&P 500 by 100% during the last 15 months. But more importantly, it's an extraordinary education, a roadmap for your success. And it's yours risk-free for the next 30 days. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and then Mastering Probability, because everyone needs a success strategy. For most, it's a competitive edge, the will to win, the drive to overcome any obstacle. Whatever you call it, winners find a way. Find your way to Mastering Probability today, because your journey to extraordinary rewards is just one click away.